Hello everyone, my name is Stacey Kantrowitz and I'm the Director of Community Employment Services at Juanio. I'd like to welcome you all to my presentation today on Augmentative and Alternative Communication Systems, also known as AAC Systems. AAC Systems employ multiple ways to communicate, which can either supplement or compensate for severe expressive communication disorders. These systems should also be considered to augment speech for those who have speech that is unintelligible to the unfamiliar listener, and the presence of speech should not preclude consideration for these support systems. The benefit of these communication systems are that they help develop intentional communication. They reduce negative or challenging behaviors caused by frustration and the inability to express oneself. They increase opportunities for interaction and learning. They develop social skills and the ability to build meaningful relationships. And they improve spoken language skills. Aided modes of communication include those approaches that require some form of external support, such as communication boards with symbols or pictures, photographs, words, etc. Perhaps on a computer or a handheld device that has symbols and that generates speech. Unaided methods include non-spoken means of natural communication, such as body language, facial expressions, and American Sign Language, otherwise known as ASL. It can be helpful to teach and encourage both unaided and aided modes of communication. Individuals may need to be taught when it's appropriate to use different modes of communication. Those with very complex needs and limited communication repertoire can learn to use different systems in different contexts. The Picture Exchange Communication System, also known as PECS, is a communication system that involves the use of visual symbols and pictures to teach the learner to communicate. The PECS system enables individuals who are nonverbal, have limited or unclear speech, or who do not have functional communication systems to effectively communicate their wants and needs with other people. It's successful with individuals of all ages, demonstrating a variety of communicative, cognitive, and physical disabilities. It can be used as physical cards or on a mobile device using pictures. It works well in the home and in the classroom, and it's portable. You can take it with you wherever you go. PECS learners are taught to approach another person and give them a picture of what they want in exchange for that item. They're able to then initiate communication, communicate a request, thought, or anything that can be reasonably represented by a picture or a symbol on a card or on a mobile device. Let's discuss the 6 phases of this learning model for this communication style. In phase 1, the individual is taught to communicate. They learn to exchange a single picture for the desired item. In phase 2, they learn about distance and persistence. Using single pictures, they learn to generalize this new skill by using it in different places, with different people, and across distances. In phase 3, they learn picture discrimination. There may be 2 pictures or 2 symbols, and they can pick their favorite item and express what their favorite is. In phase 4, they begin to learn about sentence structure. They have a card that represents I want, followed by the item that they want. In phase 5, they'll learn to answer questions. What do you want? And in phase 6, they'll learn about commenting. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? And then they'll be able to answer, I see this, I hear this, I feel this. Another alternative or augmentative communication system is American Sign Language, otherwise known as ASL. ASL is a complete visual spatial language that incorporates hand movements, facial expressions, and body language. Did you know that babies can sign before they talk? A baby's ability to speak develops later than their ability to comprehend spoken language. There's a lag between what they understand receptively and what they can express. Typically, most babies can learn to sign between 8 and 12 months old, and it limits frustration. They won't cry as much because they can simply tell you what they want. Did you know that deaf and hard of hearing people are not the only ones who use sign language? There are a whole host of nonverbal individuals in the world who do not have speech or have limited speech due to other disabilities, such as Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, trauma, brain disorders, and speech disorders. Children with autism might benefit from using sign language. It helps develop open, effective communication skills to express their needs and wants, and it helps to eliminate stressful behaviors caused by frustration. ASL is not a manual form of English. It has its own syntax, its own grammar, semantics, and pragmatics. However, for those individuals who have fine motor difficulty, signs can be adapted to the individual. And to further encourage spoken language, signs and speech can be used simultaneously. Sign language also leads to verbal language. While it is a prevalent and persistent myth, research overwhelmingly shows that ASL and spoken language are complementary. Learning sign language can help children with ASD learn to speak. Signs accompanied by spoken words improve vocalizations. Many who start signing at a young age do acquire some spoken language. Sign language is also portable. You can take it with you wherever you go. We can first teach a child the sign for ball, ball. And then we can teach a child to request a ball. I want the ball. Right? And then label a picture of a ball to connect the dots. And then answer questions about the ball. You throw a ball. Sign language also helps children accept physical prompts. So children who are taught signs are more accepting of physical prompts, which are often needed for teaching lots of skills. Teaching just 3 to 5 signs very early on helps children accept these physical prompts and can reduce behaviors. Sign language can also help a child to learn to imitate. One of the biggest misconceptions about sign language is that a child needs to know how to imitate before we can teach them to sign. This is not the case. Some individuals with autism find it easier to look at others when signing. Because sign language is a visual language, people with ASD often have more eye contact because they're signing. And it's not as hard as you might think. Often parents will say to me, I can't learn a whole other language. You don't have to. You don't have to become proficient in sign language to see results. Learning just a few signs can make a huge difference. Start with 1 or 2 very simple signs and stay about 3 to 5 signs ahead of your child. Use flashcards or other visual aids like a wall chart to introduce and reinforce the signs that you're currently practicing. It's okay if some modifications need to be made to signs because of fine motor issues. Add sign language to other tools you already use. Signing facilitates all communication and builds language concepts. So some things to consider when deciding which system to use. It's recommended that parents seek the advice of a licensed speech-language therapist to help determine which nonverbal language works best for their child. Does my child have the fine motor capabilities to imitate various ASL signs, or can signs be adapted? Does my child have some verbalization where the PECS system would benefit simply as a supplemental tool? Since my child is completely nonverbal and lacks fine motor capabilities to imitate, would PECS be more beneficial as the primary mode of communication? Can my child discriminate pictures when presented to them? And does my child already know a few signs that are being used at home? These are things to think about when selecting a method. So, PECS, ASL, or both? Both are highly effective communication methods. Learner characteristics may determine which system is best. You may also decide to use both, a mixed method. Those who demonstrate more developed discriminative learning and have difficulty with fine motor skills may be good candidates for the PECS system. Those children who demonstrate more developed fine motor skills may be more appropriate for sign language as the communication system. We want to support your child and your family to help them communicate effectively and expressively and to become the most independent they can be. Please feel free to reach out at any time. My referral and contact information is here, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.